I am back to doing over-unders, and I'll be doing over-unders for probably at least the next 2 weeks before my first race starts. Last time, I did my overs at about 110% of my FTP. This time it's going to be 120%. The challenge is that, since then, I did a new FTP test in which my FTP went up a little over 3%, and I'll have the video to that linked below in the description below. That means my over is going to be even higher. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. I'll again be training with my new buddy Joe. And what I was going to do was 2 minutes of overs and 3 minutes of unders. But at 120%, I'm going to go back to 1 minute. And in fact, Joe gave a suggestion, and something that he used to do when he was getting ready for his seasons, is that we'll be doing 1 minute of overs and 3 minutes of unders, and repeating that 3 times. Take a 5-minute rest, do it again, another 5-minute rest, do it again. The object is to get at least 9 minutes of overs in. That is going to be a challenge. Before I was doing a couple sets of 1 and 4s, and then I only do 2 sets of this. This is now going to be 3 sets, and again with that higher over.
In my previous training block, which started at the beginning of the year, I focused on over-unders, but it was a different style of over-unders. That was based on a time trial format. For the overs, I would do 1 minute at 110% of my FTP, and for the unders, I would do 4 minutes at 95% of my FTP, which is about the top of my sweet spot range. In this training block, I'll again be doing over-unders, but they're going to be a different style. There's going to be more race style, or what I'll call race breakaway style. The overs are going to be 1 minute at 120%, which for me is going to be 325 watts, and the unders are going to be 3 minutes at the top of the sweet spot range again. At least that's what we started off with. As Joe and I started doing this workout, we modified the format based on how we were feeling in order to get the perfect workout for us. During our 5-minute easy spin before our next set, we made some changes. This time we started off with our 1 minute over, and we cut our 3-minute under down to 2 minutes. The reason for this is that each of us felt recovered enough after 2 minutes of unders to do the next 1 minute over. The last change that we made is that our next inter-set easy spin was going to go from 5 minutes down to 3 minutes. We did this not to build accumulated fatigue, but that we felt recovered enough that we can go do the next set.
Don't go too hard, man.
Okay, yeah.
Even though my unders on that second set were just a little shy of my parameter, I still felt pretty solid. And I did a much better job of not shooting out and staying hard on that 1 minute over. The format changes we had made for the second set seemed to work quite nicely for me. That being stated, things were much tougher for me on this last third set. My wattage on my 2 minute unders were starting to drop like a rock, and I was losing 15 to 25 watts on my 1 minute overs. The only change we made for this last set is that Joe wanted to start off with 2 minute unders so that on the final rep he can blast that 1 minute over. Next time what we'll do is continue with the 1 minute overs and 2 minute unders, and then just add that 1 minute blasting rep at the very end.
Okay, 1 minute. There we go.
And I'll make a point of not blasting out.
Try not to.
Yeah, in about 20 feet. Yeah, no, actually, probably right here. Ay, ay, ay.
As you're watching us do wall sprints up a 0.7 mile 12 to 15% wall, let's talk about what we wanted to accomplish by doing this over-under workout today. Generally speaking, we wanted to simulate crunch times during race situations, such as sustained surges, attacks, and breakaways. There were two specific things we wanted to accomplish with this workout. The first was to achieve at least 9 minutes at our uppers intensity. The second was to maintain our upper limit of our sweet spot range for the unders intensity. By accomplishing those two items that I mentioned before the start of the last sprint, this is what we're looking for our body to do. For the over section, our bodies will produce more lactate than they can filter out. For the under section, our bodies will have to recover under stress. Our bodies will have to produce more enzymes and more metabolic pathways in order to filter out that extra lactate while still producing a lot of lactate. That's what crunch time in racing is all about.
Last one over there. Yeah, just outside. Yeah. Car.